It is Andy with FensePost, continuing to unbox and review my entire record collection of more than 2,500 pieces of vinyl. 10 years after its release, I am looking at New Moon by the Men. And I remember writing about how much people raved about the Men's third LP, Open Your Heart, back in 2013 as the band prepared to release this LP. I likened some of their work to Ty Segall, for better or worse. In retrospect, the two artists are quite different, aside from fitting into the quite extensive genre of garage rock. We are now at the 10th anniversary of this album, an album that I consider really one of my favorite albums of 2013. So I figured I would take a look back and see how my thoughts have changed. Now, in that 2013 review, I also threw out a phrase that, well, probably has never before or since been attributed to the music of the Men. I called New Moon, quote, absolutely beautiful. I mean, what the fuck was I thinking? Beautiful might not be the right adjective. Replacing it with a term like mystical or haunting, probably a bit more accurate. Wouldn't you say? Opening track, Open the Door, sets the tone for the album, but it's a little bit more acoustic, with an acoustic guitar, laid-back vibe, and, it's not long before the band picks up that pace. And you get that with Half Angel, Half Light, one of the high points, which is a gritty rocker with a super catchy chorus. The album continues to shift in tone from the punk-infused Without a Face to the twangy country of The Brass. The Men even delve into psychedelic territory with the hazy instrumental High and Lonesome. Now, let me step back. Without a Face has always been the one that really stood out to me on this album. Entirely memorable, catchy melody, kind of terrifying lyrics, all delivered in kind of a sort of nonchalant, deadpan way. Quote, I saw a man without a face, I think about him every day. When you think about those lyrics, they're fucking terrifying. There's something about that line, the way it's delivered in the song, that is so poignant and gripping that I can't stop thinking about it 10 years later. I mean, come on. New Moon is as erratic and genre-busting as Open Your Heart, flirting with pop and rock and garage, adding in hints of twang and country. The band is constantly changing tempos and styles and sound, and it all happens concurrently throughout the 12 songs they presented on New Moon. The Seeds is a perfect example. It's a hard-driving rocker that showcases the band's ability to blend a plethora of different genres into a single song, yet still maintain their own unique sound. So, New Moon is heartfelt, it's guttural rock music. It's not absolutely beautiful, but it's absolutely brilliant. It's not typically abrasive, nor is it grating, for the most part. It's simply solid, energetic music. It makes for an incredibly fun ride. Let's pull some quotes from around the web. Why not? Pitchfork. They gave it an 8.2. Stuart Berman called the album, quote, a deeper and more mature record steeped in rock signifiers. It shows the difference between respecting tradition and being boring, between quieting down and going soft, between being earnest and being sappy. I can see that. That makes absolute sense. There's always kind of a dichotomy going on with the Men. Jazz Monroe, I like that name, Jazz Monroe, noted in Exclaim, quote, New Moon finds the band taking a step back and taking stock of their sound, making for a confident and satisfying fourth album. I like that quote, Jazz. New Moon did see the band taking a step back, but not in the typical sense of that phrase. It was taking the chaotic and the erratic behavior you found on some of their earlier albums and channeling it into something a bit tighter, a bit more contained, and in my personal opinion, quite a bit better. New Moon rocked, but in a different way from their earlier stuff. It rocked with a sense of control and restraint that took their music to an entirely different plane of existence. And that's what made it so much more powerful for me. And from the sounds of it, for many. It's why this was in my top 3, if not my number 1 album of 2013. Now, down in the descriptions, you will find links to where you can get this album, as well as a link to my original 2013 blog post. It's embarrassing. And, of course, my 10th anniversary review, also on my blog, FensePost. If you like the content of this, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon.